2 years. That is how long it's been since I seriously played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And honestly, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel coming back to this game in 2026. When I first played Valhalla, I had hundreds of hours in it. I raided England, built up Ravensthorpe, collected weapons, chased legendary gear, fought bosses, and eventually just got burnt out. So I stopped playing. But now, 2 years later, I decided to come back. After spending some time with Valhalla again, I have to say, I have very mixed feelings about this game. There are things about Valhalla that I think are still fantastic in 2026. There are other things that make me wonder how I ever had the patience to finish them. So today, we're going to talk about what it's actually like playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla again in 2026. The good, the bad, the stuff that surprised me, and whether I actually think Valhalla is worth coming back to. The first thing that hit me when I came back with it was the nostalgia. I forgot just how massive this game feels. You load into England and there's just stuff everywhere. Castles, camps, caves, mysteries, wealth, artifacts, legendary animals, order members, side quests, and about 400 things that apparently need to be investigated. And at first, I loved it. I had that feeling of, man, I remember this. Riding through England again actually felt really good. Ravensthorpe especially brought back a lot of memories. Seeing all the buildings I'd spent hours upgrading made me realize just how much time I actually put into this game. That's when I remembered one of Valhalla's biggest strengths. The world is incredibly easy to get lost in. Now, here's something that I do think that Valhalla does extremely well, even coming back to it 2 years later. The combat. Coming back after 2 years, I was immediately impressed by how satisfying the combat feels. The heavy attacks, the finishers, dual-wielding weapons, using a shield, parrying an enemy, and immediately counterattacking. There's something incredibly satisfying about running into a group of enemies and just completely destroying them. And honestly, I think that is one of the biggest reasons I wanted to come back. Because Valhalla gives you so many ways to build Eivor. You can be a stealth assassin, you can be a tank, you can dual-wield weapons, you can use spears, you can use greatswords, you can build around abilities, you can build around runes. And that's where I started having fun again. Instead of just playing the game, I started thinking about builds. This might actually be my favorite part of coming back. Build crafting. I'm not just asking, what's the best weapon? I'm asking, well, what kind of Viking do I want to be? Do I want to make an Excalibur build, a Thor build, St. George build, a Spartan build, a Gungnir build, a Mjolnir build, pure assassin, tank, berserker, you name it. And once I started doing that, I had a reason to play again. Because suddenly, every weapon and armor piece had a purpose. I wasn't just collecting gear. I was building characters. And honestly, I think that's one of the best ways to enjoy Valhalla in 2026. Don't worry about clearing every single marker on the map. Give yourself a goal, make a build, go hunt a legendary animal, fight a boss, try a different weapon, and suddenly, the game becomes a lot more interesting. Unfortunately, I remember the biggest problem with the game. The game is incredibly long. Like, really long. There are moments where Valhalla feels like it could have ended 3 different times. You'll finish a massive story arc and think, okay, that was awesome. Surely we're getting close to the end. And then the game basically says, congratulations, here's another kingdom, and another, and another, and another. That's where the pacing starts to hurt the game. Valhalla has some incredible moments, but getting from one incredible moment to another can take a long time. But the world is amazing, it's just too much. This is probably my biggest criticism. Valhalla has an incredible world, but sometimes I don't want to explore it. I just want to get to the thing I'm actually trying to do. You open the map and see hundreds of icons, and when you've already played the game before, that feeling can be even worse. Because you know what's waiting for you. Another chest, another mystery, another artifact, another underground tunnel, another puzzle, and eventually you're just thinking, bro, I just wanted to get to this piece of armor. And that's where I think Valhalla can become exhausting. Now, I will say, the one thing I really appreciate about Valhalla is that the side content isn't always that serious. By side content, I mean like mysteries, flighting, etc. Some are weird, some are genuinely hilarious, and some are surprisingly memorable. And then, some are just busy work. That's the problem. The quality is all over the place. You can have a side activity that you remember years later, and then immediately follow up with something that feels like Ubisoft asked, how can we make the player walk 400 meters for this? And I think that's one of the biggest reasons people have such different opinions about Valhalla. There's a lot to love, but there's also a lot of filler. Now, the Assassin's Creed part of it. There's the obvious question. Is Valhalla actually a good Assassin's Creed game? And, well, I'm still conflicted. Because Valhalla is obviously an Assassin's Creed game. The Hidden Blade is here, the Assassins are here, the Templars are here, the lore is here, the Order of the Ancients is here. But sometimes it feels like the Assassin's Creed stuff is competing with the Viking RPG stuff. And personally, I think the Viking side wins. When Valhalla lets me be a Viking, I have a great time. When it reminds me that I'm supposed to be playing an Assassin's Creed game, I'm a little more mixed. One thing I definitely appreciated coming back is just how much content this game actually has. If you own the expansions, there's even more. You've got Wrath of the Druids, which takes Eivor to Ireland. You've got the Siege of Paris. And then you've got the Dawn of Ragnarok, which goes much harder into Norse mythology. Ubisoft also added things like Mastery Challenges, River Raids, Tombs of the Fallen, and Forgotten Saga during the game's post-launch life. And honestly, some of the stuff is way better than I remembered, especially when you're looking for something to do after finishing the main story. Now, unfortunately, here comes a huge problem. Another huge problem, if you will. The endgame problem. This is where it struggles, I think, in 2026, at least for me. Once you finish the major story content, what are you actually playing for? There's no New Game Plus. Ubisoft confirmed that New Game Plus would not be added to Valhalla, and that's really, really a shame. I don't know why, but okay. Because imagine being able to start the story again with your fully upgraded Excalibur build, or your Mjolnir build, or your Gungnir build. That would have been perfect. Instead, you have to create your own reasons to keep playing, and for me, that's actually what I'm doing right now. I'm collecting weapons, building different versions of Eivor, testing runes, trying different armor combinations, and basically turning the endgame into my own personal challenge mode. So, let's wrap this up. Let's kind of come to the end here. Is Valhalla good in 2026? After coming back to Assassin's Creed Valhalla after 2 years, I think my opinion has actually changed. I appreciate this game more than I did when I originally played it. I think that's because I'm not trying to rush through it anymore. I'm not worried about finishing every region. Excuse me. I mean, fishing is a major problem, but I mean, yes. I'm not worried about finishing every region. I'm not worried about collecting every single chest. I'm not trying to 100% the entire map. I'm just playing. And when I do that, Valhalla is actually a lot of fun. The combat is still satisfying, the world is still beautiful, the gear system is fun, the builds are fun, the Viking system is still awesome, and there are some genuinely incredible moments in this game. But the pacing is still a problem, the game is still too long, there's still too much filler, and the lack of New Game Plus is very, very disappointing. So, would I recommend playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla in 2026? Yes. But I wouldn't recommend playing it in the same way I did the first time. Don't try to do everything. Don't feel like you have to clear every icon. Don't force yourself through content you're not enjoying. Instead, make your own adventure. Pick a weapon. Create a build. Go hunting. Explore. Do the DLC. Fight some legendary animals. Try mastery challenges. And just enjoy being Eivor. Because after coming back to this game 2 years later, I realized something. Maybe Valhalla wasn't a game I hated. Maybe I was just tired of playing it. And now that I've had 2 years away from it, I'm actually having fun again. So, I'm curious. If you've played Valhalla, what do you think about it in 2026? Do you love it? Did you hate it? Or are you like me and coming back after years away? Let me know down in the comments, and if you want to see me continue my Valhalla journey, I'm going to be testing different builds, weapons, armor sets, and basically seeing how powerful I can make Eivor in 2026. Thanks for watching, Skull.